Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Underrail. Everyone, it has been... it's actually been an interesting adventure down here in Deep Caverns with you guys. And... how can I describe what's happened? Let's just say the words. So, I have been playing other characters in Underrail during my adventures with Garrett on the side, and I accidentally recorded over both my Garrett save and my backup save with one of my other characters. Now, I make the occasional save here in Deep Caverns anyway, and so I didn't lose too much progress. However, I've had to, or rather I'm about to, redo about 4 hours worth of work. And 4 videos that were recorded. Slightly longer than 4 hours. The good news about this is that these hours that I'm about to redo will only take maybe 1 hour total. Because most of that time was spent wandering around aimlessly or being greatly confused by what I'm supposed to do next. Since I have gone through most of what is now required, we can thankfully skip most of it, and I'll look like I'm a real professional when it comes to doing the remainder bits of Deep Caverns. I have not fought Tchort. I did not get through the gate, but I did a good amount of other things. So, first off, I think when we left off, I had been exploring all of these areas and just trying to find anything I could find in regards to the equipment that we need to repair the gate, in particular the valve and the extra fluid canister, and any other serums or, not serums, sequences or compounds that we need to produce the mutagen, which might help us against Tchort somehow. So, let's summarize things that have happened since we last talked. First, I have picked up these AI cores. I don't know if that was in the last video or not. These cores came from the Arc Power Station. I had to interact with one of the consoles that was within that station, and you are able to unlock another room. This console is the one that is right before the projected image of Iris. You go in there, and the only thing in this room will be a single box that you're able to, well, there's a lot of boxes, but only one thing you can interact with, and that box contained all 3 of those cores. We don't actually need these cores, however. They're not useful. They are not needed by us because we have the mechanics required to actually do the gate repairs anyway. What we need, though, is we need to go visit the Tithonus lab. A place that we were in earlier, but I decided not to do anything in, because I didn't want to kill the people that were within it. We need to go into that lab. The lab contains the valve that we need in order to repair the gate. I'm going to do my best to describe this lab. In fact, I should probably save... because I plan to do a specific tutorial on Deep Caverns later, once I'm prepared to put together my Underrail bootcamp video series. First of all, we don't need this mine. This mine actually is a nightmare for us to have set, and we're better off just taking it off. Alright, good. We can put this mine down here. When last we had left off, we discovered that there were some... oh, here. We discovered there were cryo tanks. What am I doing? I should leave these doors open now that I know what's going to happen. Oh, theme. Theme. Garrett doesn't know what's going to happen, even though you do. Right. So this door had been locked, and we can't open it. We had discovered that there's this power switch, which we used to turn on the computer console. And that was as far as we got. We saw that we were able to possibly shut down the cells, but decided not to do so, and we left, and we explored other areas of deep caverns instead. We have no choice but to power down these suspension cells. We must access other areas of this lab to pick up the valve. Warning. Tithonus lab is running on auxiliary power. Estimated power on time remaining, 246 years, 97 days. Please select one of the following options. Suspension cells status. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people are still here. Switch off life support to all suspension cells. Interestingly, I don't recognize any of the names here from those that we had been reading about earlier. I guess Stakovic, whatever his name was, decided not to go into Project Eos. Or whatever horrible thing happened here happened before they could move his body to a cell. Switch off support to all suspension cells. Please insert your ID card to begin security credential authorization. We have Wasi Abdul's ID card, retrieved from the residential area. Card, WSHG0909, Dr. Wasi Abdul, security clearance level 7. Authorizing. Access granted. This action will initiate procedures Rel B and Rel F, which will prepare all subjects for release from their suspension cells. Date, time, and names of all active personnel, as well as results of the procedure, will be automatically recorded in the event log. Are you sure you want to proceed? Yes. The screen begins glitching out as the console loses power. An instant later, the screen goes blank, and the console shuts down. Interesting. And this door opened for us as well. Let's see if we can get the power back on the console, shall we, everyone? Well, it would seem Tobias has no interest in letting us power on this console. This is a doppelganger. Psionic apparition, immune to all physical attacks. However, I discovered during my 1 hour 32 minutes of trying to best this area that actually means any damage not caused from a psionic source. He is immune to electricity. He's immune to fire. We have no weapons able to destroy a doppelganger. They crit often, they hit very often. My dodge has not been very useful in keeping the doppelgangers from attacking us. And as you can see, we do absolutely no damage to them. Doppelgangers have a good amount of movement. They can keep up with Garrett very easily. The only way to shake a doppelganger is to make it so that it loses, at least from what I can tell, it loses sight of you for an entire turn. This is not easy whatsoever to do. Next. Note that the doppelganger does not have an eyeball over it to let us know if our stealth is working or not. We shut doors. We'll shut that door. There's Brandon down there. Again, notice no eyeball. Harold and Hans. Again, no eyeballs. This is because the doppelgangers don't detect things. These doppelgangers, I should say, don't detect things as other normal creatures do. Doppelgangers have the white eyeballs on them. So, in other words, they always know where you are. They will never, rather, they will not fail to detect you if you enter into the area around them in which they can detect you. This makes sense from a thematic point of view. They probably sense your life force. I spent a good amount of my time trying to sneak past these doppelgangers. However, that is not required. No sneaking is required. Doppelgangers do not detect you doppelgangers only detect you if you enter into that area around them in which they will automatically sense your life force, or whatever it is. So you don't need stealth for this area. Many of the doppelgangers randomly move about. Harold, as you can see, he's just wandering back and forth. There is no set pattern to the doppelgangers' patrol. They just want to walk around. They're curious, I guess, as to see what's happening, and they don't want to leave the building. Next. We have learned that we cannot hurt doppelgangers. Stealth is not required. They automatically see us if we get too close to them. They do a good amount of damage. The only way you can shake them is to, very painfully, try to run through the limited amount of space you have within this lab, lead them to some place and leave them there, by making them lose vision to you for one entire turn. We failed. We're gonna have to run out. Or we run outside, in which case that resets all the doppelgangers. And when you re-enter, the doppelgangers are not even present. Not initially. They begin materializing in after about 5 to 6 seconds. See? Next. See these two, or rather these 3 doppelgangers here? Oh, those 3 doppelgangers. Those 3 are the reason why I lost my temper pretty badly. So, first, let's talk about a few more things before we get into this area in particular. See these lock pads? We need to access these areas, but we can't because obviously the doors are locked. Our character, our Garrett here, does not have hacking. So, we have to hope that the key cards we possess will be, or rather the key card we possess, Wassi's, is good enough to be able to use it on these lock pads. Not good enough, but will allow us to access those lock pads. Because if it's not, then we need to find another way in. There are no vents anywhere within this lab. There is no way to make any progress. The valve we need is in this room, behind 3 doppelgangers and a lock pad. Hacking 70. This lock pad also is hacking 70 to open it. Next. when you are in combat, you cannot interact with the lock pads. It won't let you do so. This means that if you want to hack them, you're going to need to be obviously out of combat. So what I have been trying to do, since I discovered that these two lock pads require 70 hacking, is I thought, okay, we can't access these rooms, so this is the only lock pad that I might require to open, but I have to lead those 3 doppelgangers away from the door, and I can't leave the building, because if I leave the building, it resets all the doppelgangers, they all go back to the original positions. Well, everyone, it's not so simple as that, and let me tell you, that isn't simple at all. Those 3 ghosts, unlike the other ghosts in this area, from what I can tell at least, those 3 ghosts will go back to their original positions here once you give them the shake. It took me about 28 minutes or so of constantly reloading and trying over and over again to bring these 3 over here, ditch them, and then worm my way back here such that I did not enter combat. By the time I managed to get back to this spot, all 3 of these ghosts were back in their positions. As far as I can tell, it's not possible for you to access this lock pad without getting access first to these rooms. Now, we don't have hacking, and our keycard can't open these doors. However, there is a keypad in one of these storage rooms. Well, this is bad. Alright, it wasn't in this one, so we'll check this one. Although I'm going to need for Harold to move out of the way first. There's a good amount of this as well, everyone. A good amount of time was spent just praying that the doppelgangers would go away, so I could move and make some more progress in this area. Entered combat. By the way, shutting doors does not stop the doppelgangers from chasing you. Doppelgangers can open doors. Since you cannot destroy these ghosts, if you get pinned, like if you can't move because the doppelganger's in the way, this is especially true if one decides to wander into a doorway while you're being chased by another, the only solution is to reload. At least if you're not a psi user. Psionics, in addition to being extremely powerful in Underrail, I would say brokenly powerful, they also let you destroy doppelgangers. One of the abilities I know can work on them. And because I did not get into that door quickly, I'm just going to reload and do this again. This. We need Yuri Holland's keycard. Next, we're just gonna active uncanny dodge and run out again. I find this particular part of the game really dumb. Like, this is not fun. This is not necessarily difficult. It's just dumb. The amount of waiting you do for the ghosts to move out of the way, at least for my character, because I didn't take hacking, and because I don't have psionics. It's just dumb. Anyway, now we finally made it to the room. Let's go ahead and look at these suspension cells. It's empty. The person inside the cell died a long time ago. Do you see Ramir there? For every... there's a ghost wandering around in here, and we know there's ghosts here, and there's 3 ghosts over here as well. You see a skinny gray-haired man being held in a state of suspended animation. The cell feels cold to the touch, but not so much that you cannot hold your palm pressed to the glass, and you don't notice any frost or ice crystals on the glass or the person. You spot several tubes and cables running from the cells into the wall. The tubes seem thick and sturdy, but the cables, probably used to power the cell, look like they could be pulled out with some effort. A bushy-haired man being held in a state of suspended animation. So, why don't we go ahead... Unfortunately, we don't know these people's description, but let's go ahead and yank the cables out of this. We didn't notice anything happen, did we? Let's try a different one. You see a tall man with a grotesquely deformed face being held in a state of suspended animation. Pull out those power supply cables. Well, no difference. We're still kind of pinned in here. Let's keep pulling out the cables to other cells. You see a tall, long-haired man being held in a state of suspended animation. The cell feels cold to the touch. Pull out the power supply. We'll unplug the skinny, gray-haired man. And note that Ramir is gone. From the other cells we pulled the power cables out, other doppelgangers are vanishing. We're killing the people inside the cells, and their projected doppelgangers, whatever these are, the apparitions, are leaving as we do so. You see a slim blonde woman. Kill her as well. An overweight man. We'll leave his there alone at the moment. Sandy. We killed Sandy. This guy is looking rather plump. This must be the overweight man. Oh, entered combat. That means we're running to get out of here now. The cells will still be depowered, and we will not have to worry about all of the doppelgangers. Notice that only Elidith is now guarding that door. A slightly hunched over, dry-faced old man. A middle-aged, red-haired woman being held in the state of suspended animation. Will pull her power cables out. A bald, middle-aged man. Will kill him as well. An average height. A thin black woman. Kill her too. I don't know which one this girl is. We're going to leave some of them alive. I'm just curious if it matters at all. The last time I had done this, I killed all of them. I was so mad. But with these guards gone, we can now at least access this area. Some very high quality psionic parts. And the hydraulic control valve that we need. You also can learn biolocation here if you did not pick it up earlier. Is that correct? I think that's correct. No, I'm sorry, that's pseudospatial projection. Tobias is still there. Probably one of the ones in this room. I would like to also turn back on the power and see what the reports are. I did not do that last time I was here. I'm curious if we can do so. An average height man with large tumor-like mass on his lower jaw, being held in a state of suspended animation. Kill him. It wasn't Takayo. One of these is Brandon, the other is Takayo, so we probably killed Tobias by destroying that one cell. Nothing. No logs that we're able to access. Brandon, you real jerk. Well, we'll leave them alive. I don't need to kill every one of them. It's probably not for the benefit of mankind leaving them alive, but again, I don't need to kill them, so we'll let them live. The only thing we're missing now is the last canister, and I know where that is. We need to go back to where the Rat Hound cave was located. Because there was a chamber off of that cave that we can actually go into, which I did not... I'm sorry, not the cave itself. It's to the west of the entrance of that cave. So, while we're doing this, because it's going to take us a bit, let's talk about deep caverns a little bit, everyone. So, when I first arrived here, all I knew or had were rumors about how difficult or not difficult this place was going to be. I knew nothing about it. Once I got in here, I did my best to avoid looking anything up, but I became stuck several times. And was forced to look up, well, not forced, but decided that instead of spending hours and hours of not knowing what to do, I would instead look it up. I can honestly say that if I had not looked up some of this information, And by that in particular, the fungus area, and needing to be infected by those spores. Oh crap! We're in combat and I didn't want to be in combat so soon. But it's too late now. Let's throw a flare. That's a shame. Still stunned him. Let's get into better position. That sounded like that came from this side. There is another one of them somewhere. I'm most nervous about the Goliaths to start. Where was that other one? Last time I did this, I was able to use traps here, but not this time. I don't want to waste my precious few bolts on their mirror images. So I'm just going to wait until those fade first. Can definitely kill the little ones, I suppose, though. Everyone with kill reduces their effectiveness. Good. That's more like it. Now their whatchamacallits are gone. Let's throw a flashbang to stun them. And charge. Uh-oh, Tim, it just occurred to me this one's alive! Okay, good. You weren't that... Thankfully, you weren't stunned. We're going to change out this for our taser. Well, that was very effective, Tim. Remember, everyone, that you can hold down Shift to repower your item with a battery of some sort. That's so useful to know I don't have to go to my inventory to do this. I just want their body parts picked up so I don't have to worry about them being in the way. And we'll just dump this stuff over here. Oh, some other things I might have acquired since we last talked. Biohazard boots, which help our resistance against, obviously, the toxic gas. I have a phase gun, $25,000 for 1 pound. That's amazing, so I'm holding on to that. And that's basically it, I think. Oh, I probably don't need my jackhammer anymore. Oh, also, I think I may not have cleared out this location, But I might have gotten 2 more mutagens as well. I have to check, because I don't remember what I have or haven't done based on the backup I reloaded. How's my taser? Taser's still good. At some point, I don't know if I did it in the last episode, I picked up a jackhammer, and I've been using it to break down all the walls I come across. And it just occurs to me that I probably lowered, my audio a bit. Holy crap. That is a ton of enemies. There's quite a few burrowers there. However, what we need is in this area. We need to clear it. Because we need... Actually, can I... No, we won't be able to see it unless we step in. There's the hydraulic fuel canister we need, guarded by that one burrower. Unfortunately, we're going to have to clear the burrowers out, because there's no real other way to get to it safely, from what I can tell. So we're going to make quite a few traps to help us here, I think. Make quite a few traps. We're going to deploy quite a few traps, if I can. We just have to be careful, because I do not want... any of my other traps to be set off. By this one. So I guess we can use some of my crawler traps. Actually, if I recall correctly, the burrowers are immune to all poisons. So I think instead, we'll leave some acid traps here. The good news about doing this is it will clear out some inventory space. Also, I really found nothing else that was really useful for all the traps I brought with me. Okay, everyone. Let's go ahead and start the fun. Make it easy for us to see it. And let's do it. I was hoping it wouldn't have the movement points to do that. Since it set off that trap, I was hoping the trap would damage many more than just one of them. I'll have to move to shoot that one, and the moment I do, my accuracy drops dramatically. Ooh, good hit, Garrett. I am wearing my critical goggles? I am. 28% chance of critical hit. Very nice. Oh! Wonderful. I don't want to accidentally destroy my other traps, so I'm just going to leave them there. I'm not going to throw a grenade yet. I think we will toss another flare, though. Actually, no. No. We'll take this. We'll take the 75% chances to hit. Actually, this one's in the light, so it's easy for me to hit this one. Easier, that is. Nice! Nice, good critical hit. This was a fun battle last time I did it, too. Hey, that's right. Suck down all that acid. Nice HE grenade. That was a mistake. Just should have let that one die normally. The acid would have done it. One more turn for both of them. They're free, and thankfully still taking more acid damage. We can take this opportunity to equip some different things on my hotbar. Didn't even need the shield. At least not yet, at least. Not missing other as well. That's very, very nice. Forgot they have good movement. Probably got the little one as well. We did. Ah, that's a shame. We missed one of our very rare 95% chances to hit. Is not very rare, but one of our only 6 corrosive acid bolts. We shouldn't need this. As long as that one's not going to move up, I'm fine with that. You can watch its friend slowly die over many, many turns. Must be like a Burr or horror movie. Just wanted to get back to its home. We killed its brother slowly over time in front of it. I am fine with this result. Alright. Let's repair our dagger. We can use a big repair on our Zephyr crossbow. Clear the bodies out of their equipment. Hello, skeleton. So there is nothing down here that we need to search. Since it's my belief these things will come back, I'm just going to search their corpses to remove all the things, get them out of the way. And we'll search this area. And we won't need... Ooh, a 64. An 88! Wow! Such a shame. I love to bring this back with me just for a tutorial I plan on making on crafting. Even though I don't have any biology. We'll take that with us, since we're going to hit our storage at some point before we're done here. And that's what we're here for, everyone. The hydraulic fluid canister. That battle went a lot smoother this time than the last time. I am sorry, everyone, that I lost those videos, but I will be honest. You're probably... Oh, there's remains there. You're probably better off... Well, not better off, but... It was boring. It was boring and filled with anger. Two very bad things for a Let's Play. So... Let's talk about deep caverns. Again, I began mentioning that this area is, as you can see, it's not so bad now that I know what I'm doing. Holy crap. Not knowing what I was doing, this was so frustrating. Since I'm doing it again, and since it's obvious now that this is a lot easier, or not easier necessarily, but since I'm not having as much trouble, since I know what to expect and what to do, that makes this just as bad as some of the really bad parts that I struggled with up above. And to be fair, nothing's really that bad up above. And by up above, I mean everything that's not deep caverns. Let's go with this. I really disliked the Tethonian, whatever, how you say that lab with the doppelgangers. I really hated it. Like, that was one of the worst sections I had to do in this game. Absolutely terrible idea to make that work that way. Also terrible that not a single one of these cave hoppers is dropping it. Oh! Crap! Siphoners, forgot about you guys. I see I've been here before. Cave hopper steak? Why did I leave that here? I want that. Killing you because I really want what you drop. Why would you end combat like that, game? I wanted to kill that one. Still no cave hopper leather on any of the cave hoppers we have killed down here, all like 15 of them. Sorry, I complain a lot when something as simple as getting a skin from a cave hopper requires farming for it. Unbelievable. Game, I just want a high-level cave hopper skin. Can you give me one? Can you give me one? I know it's possible. 2 more, everyone. 2 more. Pardon my language, everyone, but I'm gonna. Fuck you too, game. Fuck you too. Alright. Yeah, there was a lot. There was a ton of that. A ton of me cursing and swearing at this game, because I don't understand some of the design decisions that went into it. Why are the cave hoppers not dropping leather? Come on. Why? Why? Why can't they? They totally should. They totally should. There's no reason why they can't. No reason why they can't. Other than, for some reason, the ones down here are skinless. Like those skinless cats. Why would you do this? Why would you design... Why would you put the cave... Okay, you'd put the cave hoppers down here to be annoying, because if you have stealth, the cave hoppers will run into you and trip your stealth, and they'll run into your traps and set them off. Thus, you put cave hoppers that don't drop any quality skin or fur whatsoever. That's why you put them in here, to be annoying as hell, because you're an evil, evil, evil designer. That would be the only reason I could think of to do that crap. Oh, while I'm here, by the way, let's do one more thing. We're going to revisit the cave. We're going to revisit the fungus forest again. Not for any reason that we must be there, but because I want something from here, just because I want it. Not required in any way whatsoever, but I want it. And that is gonna be a latcher. But it needs to stand still for us. Holy crap, game! Please select the latcher. Thank you. Alright. And then we're done. I don't know how many people ever tried to capture a latcher, but I want one. We're gonna put it in our apartment. Latcher in a dog crate. It reeks. Now, with all this done, we're gonna go ahead and double back to our stash and store the things I've been picking up. I don't think we need the jackhammer any longer, but I should check. I should check that. Because I don't actually know if I got to all the canisters I need. Canisters, the compounds. Right, so back to Deep Caverns. So, the whole fungal thing, and you have to actually get spored in order for you to get to an area of the game that you must get to get a piece of this special fungus. That seems a rather poor decision when it comes to designing this area. Why not just make it a cave you can walk into? I don't know. You can get a hint about it if you talk to Leo about that cave. He'll hint that he got knocked out and woke up in some place he was unfamiliar with. But I would not have thought that was actually a game mechanic. I would have thought that was just a bit of lore as to something he made up, as it were. Like, just a warning of how dangerous the place is, as opposed to something you must do to access an area of the game that you absolutely must get to. And I'm running through this area because I wanted to check to see if I have or have not explored everything. I'm taking this because I wouldn't mind having more mines. I didn't bring anything with me, so these two are gonna suffice, I hope. On that note, now that I know what to do, it doesn't seem that bad, all things considered. But it's that not knowing that was required. That's so frustrating. And there's no hatch here, is there? There is no hatch. All right. So, I have repaired the gate before, so we're going to repair it again. But first, we're going to try something I did not try. But I think we have to do it. I scoured... So after I repaired the gate, you still can't open the gate. You need to get the sludge off the gate first before it will open. And I did not find any information about how to do that. I suspect, however, that we have to bring this fungus thing. And by this fungus thing, hold on. I mean this. I'm pretty sure this must be brought to the scanner and scanned. I think then we may get information about how we're supposed to use it. That's my guess. You know what? These are only MK2s. You can just leave them here. I thought they were MK3s, everyone. I don't want MK2s. And I think we will just leave that here. If I find out I need it, we can come back. Alright, so let's go and bring this fungal bit to the Great Recombinator, or whatever it is we have to bring it to. So some other things about deep caverns. Let's keep talking about deep caverns. So I think the Eye of Tchort mechanic, I don't know if I like it. I don't think I do. It takes away... I mean, it's on one hand, it's an interesting mechanic. I like the idea that you're supposed to be feeling pressure. But unfortunately, all it really makes the game feel for me is it just, like, delays the inevitable. Oh, no, it's not even that. I'm sorry. That's one way of phrasing it. It adds a bit of tedium to this area. Because what I'm going to do, and what I suspect everyone probably does, is that they probably just go to a place where they can get rid of the effect, and then they walk back out again. And if you didn't get echoing soliloquy from Leo, you just have to do it more often. Very much more often. But you'd still do it, because you don't want to fight Tchortlings, which I have figured out only show up after you have the Eye of Tchort on you. I think it would be better if instead you just fought random groups of them. Okay, yes, this is what I thought we had to do. Oh, but this isn't the scanner. The coat of paint covering the machine has mostly peeled, but you can still make out the label which reads Organic Processor. A sizable transparent container on the left side can be opened and is presumably where organic matter can be placed. The two large screens beside the machine do not seem to be operational. Place the myocardia inside the transparent container. You carefully put the slimy heart-shaped organ inside the container. A small button beneath it lights up, one labeled with Initiate Processing. You press it to hear the sound of the machine awakening. The organ is quickly turned into sludge and sucked inside the machine. A monitor to your left flashes for an instant, then turns off. The monitor seems to be turning on and off once every 2 seconds, making the screen difficult to read. Regardless, it seems to be displaying the list of all organic compounds extracted from the processed organ. After staring at the strobing monitor for some time, you identify that the machine offers you an option to turn the resulting sludge into biocide. Make it. You press the appropriate key a few times before it finally accepts your input. You hear some clanging coming from the machine before the faulty monitor displays further information and options. It appears that the machine can automatically fill several different types of dispensing containers, as well as grenade casings with the biocide you've made. The machine seems to be all out of the types of casings other than grenade ones. Well, let's make them. The available number of grenade casings is 9. However, since the only functional key seems to be 5, you are left with no other options but to make 5 grenades. After hearing some mechanical noise coming from inside the machine, you are eventually rewarded with 5 biocide grenades, ready to be used. Because you doubt you'll be able to make more, you think you should hold on to these for the time you really need them. Right, we can read that later. Let me check this really quick. I did not find the other bits that I need. I did not find them. There's 2 more. So I need the jackhammer. I need the jackhammer. Alright, let's jump down this hatch. And wait. Let's actually save the game. Because screw the mutagens. I'm going to go and see how tough Tchort is. Because if Tchort is tough enough that I can't defeat it with Garrett right now, we'll go ahead and go through the mutagen creation. But otherwise, I'm tired of running around looking for the bits. Because even though I know where 2 more of them are, I still don't know where all of them are, and we may need all of them to create the thing that we need. So let's go and get the mechanism repaired. We'll try the grenade, which I have not tried before, and if we can fight Tchort this episode, we'll give it a shot. Several shots, actually. All right, first. You should be stealthed. You can avoid fighting cuddle snails, you should. My guess is that the leftover compounds and reagents are beyond this door. I'm gonna guess that there is an area before Tchort, and yes, there was a map before Tchort would be my guess, and that contains the final things you need to create the mutagen, and then you have to backtrack in order to create it, is my guess. Okay, I don't need the cores because we'll be able to repair this ourselves. We won't need the key card any longer. I probably will need the tool set. Alright, let's go ahead and try and fix this. You approach the machine and take a look at it. Okay, we've already read this before. Insert the hydraulic control valve. The control valve you possess seems to be a correct match for this type of hydraulic system. You place the valve inside the panel, and will probably install it once the repairs begin. use a hydraulic fluid canister. Since hydraulic fluid reservoir has a hole in it that needs to be patched up, you set the canister next to the machinery to be used once repairs are completed. And let's attempt to repair it. You have all necessary components ready, as well as all the tools you will need. You can now begin the repairs. While you were aware from the start that installing life into this decayed piece of machinery was going to be a difficult task, how difficult, however, that you realized only after you finally rolled your sleeves and began working and looking back at your underestimation. Screws getting decapitated as soon as you touched them with a screwdriver, tubes full of holes that you had to patch up with super tape, and tiny delicate components turning into black dust are only some of the problems you faced. Yet you managed it all. Now, after the repairs are completed, the last thing left for you to do is to pour the hydraulic fluid into the reservoir and check for any remaining holes. And this is what you do. After making sure that nothing is leaking, you close the panel. The only way to test if trouble was worth it is to try to actually open the gate. The gate controls must be above you, near the gate, seeing as there are no controls visible in this room. I'm going to save the game everyone a few times. Okay, let's do this. And also, I shouldn't be stealth. There's no Tchortlings here. We'll walk faster without doing so. The biomass is preventing the gate from opening. Alright, everyone, let's try this. Oh, it's a gas grenade. Hey, that worked. Alright. Let's go back inside, though, because we already have 6 stacks of Creeping Dread. Oh, you know what was another game that had Dread? And again, it was a mechanic that was like, I don't like this. Was, Xenonauts. God, what a miserable idea that was in that game. I know, let's make an ability where all your characters will randomly lose 1/3 of their total action points for the turn. Oh my god, that's just effing painful. I still have not given all my thoughts on the Deep Caverns. I think I'll try to write up an outline and give a better summary if and when we're up to 3 stacks already. After we're finished with this, we're going right back down there, everyone. We got 4 stacks Creeping Dread already, so I just want to wait for this to go away. Because this doesn't look very healthy, so I really don't think we want to walk into this. Yep, just waiting. Just waiting. Can we... speed up time? We're coming for you, Tchort. I'm finally tired of your nonsense. Deep Caverns it was a lot of work. Of course, the boss could just annihilate us. Remember, Garrett is a hybrid. He's not an optimized character. So when we get in the battle with Tchort, I'm not sure. I don't know anything about the fight, so I've been only looking up stuff and only just enough as to what I need as I need it. So, this is probably gonna be terrible, isn't it? Let's make sure my shield is fully powered. Okay, so I'm thinking... Well, we haven't seen him yet, Tim. You don't know for a fact that he's next. You might fight Tchortlings next. So let's take this with us. And get up there and check. I wonder if... Can you side with the Tchortists at some point in the game? I didn't see any way to do that. Like, can you become a Tchortist and then side with Tchort? It'd be neat if you could, but I somehow don't think it's possible. And I was correct. There is, in fact, another area before Tchort himself. Suddenly, something tightens deep inside your chest and stomach, and you are frozen in place. An overwhelming fear pours over you, and you feel your jaw tightening, your heart racing, and your knees getting weak. It takes all your mental power not to just collapse right there on the floor. The sensation lasts for minutes, but you refuse to give in. Eventually, it starts subsiding. It is as if you can feel the fear traveling through your nerves and out of your skin, dissipating in the air around. Oh, here's the Mutagen Recombinator. Oh, holy crap. That's good high-density foam padding. And here's more of the reagents we would need. So these, as I guessed correctly, we will need to bring these back and store them. Scan them to figure out how we can use the Recombinator to create the mutagen we would need to defeat Tchort. It's too bloody and dirty to see through clearly, but it appears this room overlooks a big cavern. Mutagen Recombinator log terminal. Regent list. Those are all of them. Logs. Notes. Exodus 1 and 2, Dr. Gearoff. Our team recently came across 2 reagents which have proven extremely toxic to all organisms which underwent artificial mutations. Preliminary results suggest that injecting any of these 2 reagents, which I have designated as Exodus 1 and Exodus 2, into the Crucible, or use them on mutated organisms in any other way, will cause immediate and most likely fatal effects on exposed organisms. I deleted the atomic sequences of both of these 2 reagents, deleted their entries from the current reagent cycle, and stored them in a safe place. 1 container of each of these 2 reagents will be used to map and possibly predict future reagent sequences, which could have negative effects. So, it looks like Tchort is probably right downstairs, is my guess. So, the question is, do we do the fight? I think we should try it once, right? What do you guys think? Though this gas cocktail is specifically designed to remove mutagenic biomass, it's also generally toxic to all living things. Throw a gas grenade on the ground where it remains for 10 turns using toxic gas that deals 13 to 58 bio damage per turn to anyone standing in it and 1/3 of damage to those passing through it. The gas also destroys any inert cytomorphic biomass. probably can't be used on Tchort himself, would be my guess. Tchort, I'm gonna believe, is probably up and moving around. So I'm thinking we'll do this. Our shock bolts, our incendiary bolts, and 2 grenade types. I don't think we'll be able to stun it with a shock. I don't think EMP will be useful. Oh, maybe we could burn it in fire over several turns. Let's take the fire. We'll try that to start. Alright, everyone. I think this is it. I think this is the boss. So let's go ahead and save it again over all of my slots. And we will make several attempts on Tchort. I think we'll try to make 3 this video. And if those fail, we'll try 3 more next video. And if those fail, like if it's obvious that we cannot do it, then it will be it'll be the Mutagen Recombinator. We'll do that instead. So let's eat some food. And let's get down there and do it. Holy crap! It is Shadow we expected. We have been starving ourselves for days in hopes he would come for his prize. Such a heavenly feast it would be, a storm of senses at the break of abstinence. The flesh of the High Ones, so opulent. Their thoughts, clear and brisk waters from ancient glacial currents. That's a faceless. But I see now that he will not dare face us. And instead, we got you, another mangy rail rat. Trash-digging, foul-smuggling, ugly, dishonest mongrel. But alas, we have not eaten for a while, so we must make do. Come, little one. Let us take you down the corridors of pain. Take heart, for on the other side, a greater destiny awaits. You must descend to become exalted. Proudly rise to submission. Come, join your river into our sea, and become the flesh of a god. That's a electrified ladder. Oh hey, we can stealth. Oh, I guess you create the mutagen, but then you have to run around and actually store the mutagen. I did not realize that. I thought you'd make it up there and you could inject it up there. I think the tentacles probably respawn. Ooh. Alright, let's move. We're just gonna do this. Yeah, let's move right up and fight Tchort. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? Next, let's use some morphine. I don't have the movement I would need. I want to throw a bunch of, I want to throw the magnesium grenades on the tentacles to kill them. I don't know what the range of those are, though, so I think we'll wait next round to do so. Let's see what happens. Well, I guess I'm glad I didn't throw, because they can move around. They heal 200 hit points a turn! Wow! Wow! That's dumb, Tim. That's dumb. You should focus on them. Who cares if you stun them? They heal so many hit points each turn. Kill them. The good news is we can hide from that one. I'm guessing that these tentacles will respawn, but the big ones probably won't. This is a different one than the one that was... Oh! No, they'll heal themselves! Uh-oh! So then we have to kill Tchort itself. I don't think we can win this. This isn't possible. I don't do the damage I would need to do to the tentacles, and if they're just going to keep respawning, there's no way I can do it. And I set this whole area on fire, which is not going to be conductive to me being able to run through here and just shoot at Tchort. And I don't think I can defeat all these tentacles either. Which I would need to do in order to get to Tchort. I don't want that scanner being able to assist, so we'll do this. Oh, I like that the eye followed us. That's amazing. I'm a little nervous about the scanner because I know it can stun us. So I'm going to run right up here and use Uncanny Dodge. I don't think we're winning this time. I think I should have just charged Tchort now that I'm aware of how much he heals each turn. Oh, there's multiple scanners on the way. I think we just try stabbing Tchort to death next turn and pray we can kill it, because my range isn't working. And my shield's about to expire, so if I can't kill it in like one turn, that's going to be the end of us. I don't think this is happening, everyone. Look at all those not crits. Yeah, so Garrett can't do this. I don't think we need to make another attempt to know this. The game just crashed at the very end. So I don't need to make more attempts. Garrett cannot do this fight, not by himself. I don't have the DPS to kill Tchort from distance with my bolts. I'd have to crit every single time. I only get 2 attacks. That's just not gonna happen. So I have to make the mutagen. Garrett's not strong enough to do it otherwise. So I will make the mutagen off screen, and we'll come back and we'll try Tchort again with the mutagen in hand, and we'll see how that can help us. So see you guys in the next one when we will be fighting Tchort again.